Hiya, and welcome back to Homecoming Morenatsu Revisited. The game that teaches us that I look like a mid-2010s mom right now. Like, at the time of recording, I look like a 2010s mom. Only without the glasses, and I'm going to put them on. Just to complete the look. Anyways, let's just hop right in. How many Shuns can fit in Cheeto's wig? Probably 37. Be specific about everything. But no, I'm actually wearing my fucking glasses right now. Are you proud of me?
Take that!
I lost.
That's too bad. Wanna play again?
Jeez, I'm usually pretty good at this game back in Osaka. Who knew Shun was good at fighting games? I think... Are you press continue? Yay, I get a funny cat as a reward for wearing my fucking glasses for once in my goddamn life. Come back here and face me like a man, Hiroyuki. Shun is a monster when it comes to competitive games. I told you not to pick a fighting game. Don't rub it in. I hold out my fist towards Koya. He slinks back and leans against the wall behind us again. I'm sure he's enjoying every minute of this. Pick your character, Hiroyuki. It's time to face your doom. I can't beat him with my main character, so what if I try? You're a Reno player now? Perfect! I eat them for breakfast. What? Before I have a chance to react, Shun picks a perfect counter to my character. That's not fair! Behind me, I can hear Koya snoring to himself. Oh boy, this is gonna be a quick match. And I swear to God, I look like a 2010s mom. Like, I genuinely look like a 2010s mom right now. Brushed hair pulled back into a low, loose ponytail. The glasses. A 2010s mom. After getting demolished by Shun multiple times, I convince him to do something else. Like, literally the only thing that I have that is fucking with the look is a beard, because I have a beard.
That was fun.
Yeah. I glance over at Koya, expecting him to laugh at me again. I am not shaving the beard. Instead, he's gazing longingly at the pachinko machines down the hall. You okay, Koya? What? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I can see that. Are we done here yet? I want to play some pachinko.
Yeah?
Our conversation ends quickly when Shun cries out in protest.
Where did he get this?
What is it? Huh? I look where Shun is pointing. In the middle of the rhythm game section sits an odd-looking pair of Taiko controllers in front of a huge screen. I don't know, after a bit, they don't get itchy. I don't know, my beard isn't itchy.
I've always wanted to play that.
Great. We're in the rhythm game section, aren't we?
Hiroyuki.
We need to play this together.
Eh? We've heard about this game. It's supposed to be super fun when you get the hang of it.
Alright. I begrudgingly accept Shun's offer, knowing what's inevitably going to follow. Good luck. The song intensifies, and Daft Punk stole our goddamn cigarettes again. I'm barely able to keep up with the hits scrolling by on the easiest difficulty. Shun, on the other hand, has no trouble getting a near-perfect score so far on the highest. This game is so easy. Why does everyone say it's difficult? Stop stealing the cigarettes, Amethyst. Stop stealing them. I start flailing wildly at the controller in front of me. I never said I was a music person.
What are you doing here, Yuki?
I'm trying to distract you. Even with my attempts, Shun's focus never breaks, maintaining his freakish performance without a single mistake.
I can't help it. Guess I'm too good at this game already.
We're only 4 songs in! How could you possibly be this good at it? Soon the song draws to a close. The results screen pops up. 65% accuracy. Yay!
I got 98.
I look down at my childhood friend with eyes wide open. No freaking way.
It's okay, Hiroyuki. You'll get the hang of it eventually.
Nuh-uh. I'm hopeless. Suddenly, an idea pops in my head. Oh. Why don't you try facing an actual musician? I turn around and see Koya leaning over the railing behind us. Koya! Me calling out his name almost causes him to fall. You need to show Shun who's boss at this. Why me? Because you're a musician? You should be great at these games. I'll pass.
Eh?
My voice screeches in surprise. I just want to say, as a musician, I am actually terrible at rhythm games. I still play them because they're fun, but I'm terrible at them. My voice screeches in surprise. What do you mean? You heard me.
What's wrong? Are we gonna play again, Hiroyuki?
I want to see you and Koya play.
Ah.
I don't like rhythm games. Again.
Eh?
How can he not like rhythm games? He should be a natural. Do I have to spell it out for you? I suck at them.
You don't have to play me, Koya.
How is that possible? Hell if I know. Playing those games is nothing like playing a real instrument. Nuh-uh. I don't buy that. I actually felt like I was playing a taiko drum back there. You're just afraid you're gonna lose to Shun, aren't you? That's what's going on, isn't it? Fine. We're to see this so bad I'll do it. Not happy about it, though. Yay. Tear Shun apart for me, Koya. I give him a wink and a thumbs up. Sure, whatever. The two of them walk up to the taiko controllers. Koya seems to struggle with holding the drumsticks. Ugh. Shun scrolls through the song list, trying to find an interesting one to play.
How about this one?
Whatever. With Koya's clear approval, Shun presses the select button, causing the song to start. Putting in the work! Hits begin to fly by on screen. Koya selected the lowest difficulty like I did earlier. Shun, of course, is on the hardest again. Koya struggled to strike the controller properly. He misses a long stream of hits. Next to him is Shun is completely focused. He's not even trying to talk to Koya while they're playing. Guess distractions are out of the question this time. Not that Koya would appreciate it. He's the kind who prefers a nice, clean competition. Ugh. Sorry, I have to take the glasses off. They were like hurting my ears. I kept getting distracted by the dust. I'll put them back on after stream, probably. A drumstick flies out of his right hand. Here you go. Thanks. His heart's not really in it. Another stream of hits flies by. He manages to miss every single one of them. Jeez, who designed this crap? How are you supposed to know what part of the damn drum to hit? Maybe this was a bad idea. Good. It's finally over. The results screen pops up. As expected, Shun's accuracy is over 95%. Koya's, however... I'm never playing these games again. He storms off down the stairs. Stop stealing our goddamn cigarettes. I didn't expect that. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. You didn't know he's bad at rhythm games.
It's so weird. How can a musician be bad at them?
I don't know. It's not the only thing he's bad at either. He never wins at rock, paper, scissors.
Pfft. You can't be serious. That game is pure luck! How is that possible? The sad wolf next to me shrugs his shoulders.
He's on a 200-game losing streak.
What? That's ridiculous. Who's counting?
He is. Just Hiroyuki, don't tease him about this stuff. He gets really mad about it.
Huh. Seems like the guy who likes teasing can't handle teasing in return. I know Koya has a short temper, but he doesn't have to take this stuff out on his friends. Maybe we should go talk to him?
Sure. I know exactly where to find him.
Hold on a second! Suddenly, a tall cat wraps around the corner and points at the screen. Who is this Kodori person?
That's me.
Grr! Who do you think you are? You just beat my high score!
Sorry.
Guess you suck compared to me. Well, this guy doesn't know what he's getting into. What did you just say, Pipsqueak? I challenge you to a game. That is, if you're feeling brave enough. Gladly! I'll take my rightful place back as the best player in Kazanari! Shun, what about... You're gonna have to do it alone, Hiroyuki. I've got some business to take care of. I'm about to do what you weak fucks won't do. He doesn't break eye contact with the cat for a second. Okay, then. The game starts up again as the two start scrolling through the song list. As entertaining as this might be to watch, I think I should go check on Koya. Sorry, Koya, we don't care about you. Not yet. Not right now, anyway. And he was so confident, too.
I'm pretty sure he cried when he walked away.
Nice going, kid. You made some guy cry. That's a rite of passage.
If you saw how mean he was, you would have been mad, too.
I'm sure I would have.
I've got so many points on my account now.
Hold up my guest pass card. I think I have a few. Where do we spend them?
There's a prize corner near the front of the arcade.
I guess it's getting pretty late. We should think about wrapping things up. Don't want to miss the bus. You're right.
Let's check out the prizes.
Koya collects the silver balls from his pachinko machine and follows us to the prize center. Ooh.
Is that a Storm Lionheart statue?
Shun points a finger at the shelf behind the counter's attendant. Hang on. Center's attendant. It is! It can be yours for 400,000 points!
I wonder how many points I have.
I can check for you. Here, check mine too. How about you, my wolf friend? I'm not a wolf, I'm a husky. Get it right. Sorry. The attendant leans over the counter and whispers at me and Shun. Is he always this angry?
Yep.
I heard that. Koya hands the attendant his account card. I'll check the amount you boys have. Be right back. Now feel bad because Koya talks about the guitar. Now feel bad. I'm sorry, Koya. Alright, I decided. Oh my god, I hit the fucking Windows key. What's it gonna be? I'm giving my points to Shun. Oh. Yay! I know you want that guitar right now, Koya, but Shun has a point. It's more likely that the guitar will still be here next time. True. I reach out and gently take Shun's card before walking to the exchange machine. After a few moments of carefully reading the instructions, I insert our cards and transfer my points to his. There we go. Retrieving the cards, I walk back over and turn the wolf's card to him. Shun wags his tail excitedly, a large smile plastered on his face.
Thank you, Ryuki. I really appreciate this.
He turns his attention to the attendant and bows.
Mr. Attendant, can I have that storm statue up there?
After collecting the prize, the three of us leave the arcade and head to the bus stop. Shun is clearly happy with his prize. Shun's tail continues to wag happily as he holds the statue close to his chest. On the way home, Koya and Shun couldn't stop talking about how much fun they had and what they plan to do next month. Hearing their excitement should put me in a good mood, but as I stare out the window at the countryside rolling by, all I can think about is how I'll be back in Osaka not too long from now. I shake my head and join their conversation. I shouldn't be thinking that kind of stuff. I still have most of my summer vacation to enjoy. I can think of no better way to spend it than with my best friends.
Friendship!
Oh, you know exactly what time it is. It's time to blow Torihiko's mind. Nothing beats that. I glance around at my surroundings, admiring how the town looks during sunset. Absently, I take another sip of my soda, relishing the feeling of the cold liquid going down my throat. I should probably be drinking water, considering all the sun I got yesterday. Whatever, healthy stuff is overrated. I swear, it still feels like I'm chest deep in the ocean. My body still feels like it's floating and bobbing as I walk. It kind of freaks out my balance. I guess everyone in town was out having a good time yesterday. As I fruitlessly search for a trash can from a now empty soda bottle, I can't help but notice how quiet Minasato is this evening. Not that Minasato isn't always quiet. Geez, I've seriously taken the recycle bins in Osaka for granted. Wait, it might actually be another day. Yeah. Okay, we're hanging out with Kyoji. Yeah. I mean, we haven't done this in a while. Yeah, but at the same time, I also want to do Yukiharu's voice. And in all honesty, we'll probably end up skipping that one scene. I give Chiyo a warm smile and nod slightly. Sure, I don't have anything better to do right now. What are you guys doing out here? I mean, the answer is obvious as I look at the sandcastle that Yukiharu is hovering over. I'm just buying myself a few moments while I try to open this box of raisins.
Well, Yukiharu and Nanafuse wanted to go to the river today, and Big Brother offered to take us.
She turns to peer over her shoulder, making sure that Kyoji is still leaning against the slide.
But I talked the guys into coming here instead. Kyoji usually falls asleep on that slide, and he was awake all night, so...
She smiles and gives me the tiniest of shrugs. Seriously, how is she the little sister? Wow. I mean, that's really nice of you. What does Kyoji do at night anyway? Surely he doesn't just toss and turn all night, does he? I finally managed to open the box and pop a few raisins in my mouth, watching while Chiyo fiddles with her hands.
He usually reads at his desk. Mr. Sotaro left him a big stack of manga books a while ago. The scary ones about monsters.
Monsters? That really doesn't narrow it down for me. Scary stories would probably not make me want to sleep either. I realized a moment too late that I was speaking with a mouthful of raisins. I swallow sheepishly, but thankfully she doesn't mention it.
Big Brother reads me some of them before bed sometimes. I like them a lot.
Really? They don't scare you? The smaller canine's smile widens and it looks like she winks.
They're a lot of fun. And since it's summer, Kyoji will sometimes read to me for a long time.
Huh. I peek over my shoulder at the resting dog with a fresh sense of admiration. I mean, I've always admired Kyoji, but for him to be an awesome big brother on top of being a star athlete and a good student? But I suppose it helps to have a little sister as nice as the little girl sitting next to me. Just about done. Oh wait, it needs a moat. Still not having acknowledged anyone, the young Tanuki carefully crawls to the front of the castle. His face is mere centimeters away from his creation, like a marble sculptor pondering the next blow from his chisel.
You'll need a drawbridge here? Gonna need more water for that, though.
The little wolf pushes himself up to his feet and brushes his hands down on his shorts. Next to me, Chio clears her throat to catch my attention.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nishimura, but can I ask a favor? My big brother usually fills up the water bucket for us, and...
She smiles apologetically and wiggles slightly, the first trait I've seen to betray her age. I can see why Kyoji would dote on her, though. Sure, I can help you out. Is there a water fountain? Wordlessly, Nanafuse sneaks up beside me with a bright purple pail in tow. With both hands, he holds the handle out to me, a nervous smile to rival Chio's on his face. I can't help but grin as I take the pail from him. Alright, let's go find somewhere to fill this up. So you're saying the sand sticks if you get it wet?
Mm-hmm.
Nanafuse skips alongside me as we walk back to the sandbox from the water fountain by the swings. I don't remember that being there when I was a kid, but it certainly beats running back to Konosuke's house to get a drink from the garden hose. Who taught you that trick?
Yukiharu.
Oh, and who taught him? A wide grin appears on the wolf's face as he looks up at me.
I did.
I can't help but laugh at the timing of his response. He's such a riot, but then again, he's always been like that since we were kids.
Grandpa taught us to. Remember when we went to the beach in Kanagawa?
Oh yeah! I was 7 then. I scratch my head at the memories, embarrassed at having forgotten.
We're old.
Pfft. Once again, the timing makes me crack up. All these years and he's still the funniest one of us all. He always has been and always will be. Huh. Wait. Since when did... Hey there! You should have let me do that! The sensational Superboy. With the haste I'd expect only from a dinner host, Kyoji takes a pail out of my hands, clapping a free hand on my shoulder. Yeah. What was I doing again? Kyoji's brow furrows at my response, and the hand gripping my shoulder halts me mid-stride. Are you alright? The heat isn't getting to you, is it? I shake my head and scratch under my nose. No, I'm good. To be honest, I do feel a bit strange. Feels like I was holding my breath and got lightheaded or something, only for it to clear suddenly. I sniff and clear my throat for effect. I just went to get some water for Chio and Yukiharu's sandcastle. I guess I just got turned around. Kyoji doesn't look totally convinced, but from what I can see of his eyes, I can tell they're searching mine for an answer. You're sure? Do you want to sit down for a moment? I slowly nod in an attempt to avoid any further awkwardness and let him lead me back to the sandbox. Chio and Yukiharu were huddled close, making a few finishing touches to their sandcastle. Ordinarily, if I suddenly became lightheaded, it would be a cause for concern, but I feel somewhat fine, as if everything's perfectly normal. Are you alright? Feel somewhat fine, as if everything's perfectly normal. Here, sit down slowly! Even though I'm sure it's unnecessary, I can't help but enjoy the tingles up my spine as Kyoji gently guides me down into the rim of the sandbox. The way his hands softly grip my shoulder and lower back, and even the soft tickle of warm breath in my ear as he bends down with me. As if, like that would ever happen.
Is everything okay, Mr. Nishimura?
The genuine concern coming from her tiny voice is actually making me feel bad. Thank goodness for Yukiharu's intense concentration on his art. I doubt I could handle both of them at once. Yeah, I'm good. I wave my hand dismissively as Kyoji moves past me to set the pail next to Yukiharu. I stood up too fast is all. When did you even sit down? I tense up, staring up at the taller canine. Oh, you know, somewhere. Anyway, how's the castle going? How's that? It's perfect. I should have started with the horse stable and built around that. The Tanuki mimes an oval with his arms as he peers down at his handiwork. I can't lie, I'm feeling pretty proud of it myself, considering he let me build the new horse stable on the backside. The perfect castle fit for a king! Bansha! So, what's next? Yukiharu suddenly frowns and rubs the back of his head. Well, I think this is where I'd ask my big brother to take a picture for me, but he's at home doing his chores, I think. I give the little Tanuki a sympathetic smile, only to widen my eyes a moment later. I have just the thing. Reaching into my pocket, I pull out my phone and double tap the power button, which opens the camera application. I haven't charged it since last night, and it's still on 63% power. For the first time, I'm actually grateful that Minasato has no cell coverage. Otherwise, I'd have no battery power left. Maybe. Okay, ready? The Tanuki takes a second to wipe his hands on his shorts before smoothing down his fur. Suddenly, he strikes an almost iconic thumbs-up pose that I recognize immediately. Does the pose run in the family? Hyosuke does it. Konosuke does it. Yukiharu does it. Does it just run in the family? It's genetic. The pose is genetic. I'm grabbing a drink. Alright. The fucking thumbs up. It's genetic. Suddenly he strikes an almost iconic thumbs up pose that I recognize immediately. Only one family in Minasato can pull off that pose so well. Pose. Yukiharu laughs through his nose as his pose breaks, clearly not used to being the center of attention. That looks really good. I'll get it sent to your brother sometime, okay? Thanks a bunch. He scratches under his nose and slowly rises to his feet. Chio, do you want to go swing for a bit before we go home? Ooh, that has a certain ring to it. I had a small smile as I turn to face Chio. Catch sight of the nervous little motion of her hands before she catches herself.
That sounds fun. I'll be there in a moment. I just need to ask my brother if we can stay just a bit longer.
Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Born to lock in, forced a thumbs up. Chio gives the boy a small wave and watches him jog to the swing set in the far left corner of the park. She hasn't moved yet, so I clear my throat to catch her attention. Mountain Dew.
Oh, let's go see my brother for a moment. You probably want to hang out with him anyway, rather than go swinging, right?
Again, it's just impossible for me to tell if Kyoji is asleep or awake sometimes, although Chio must know the distinction by heart.
Big brother, can we have just a little while longer? There's still something I need to do.
Kyoji stirs from where he's leaning into the slide, a warm smile perched on his lips as he listens to his sister's request. Very well, but we can't be late for dinner.
We won't, I promise.
Chio flicks her bangs behind one ear. She turns to make the trip to the swing set. We're gonna let Kyoji pass the fuck out. Giving my own smile, I glance over at Kyoji. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on them. Rare look of surprise shows on his face as he hears my response. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to do that. Hey, it's cool. Besides, I haven't really had much time to hang out with Miss Chio and Yukiharu. The girl giggles again at the name and fiddles with the straps of her purse. With bright eyes, she glances up at her older brother.
I'll wake you up in another few minutes, big brother.
I'm not. No. The little girl marches up to Kyoji and points her finger up to his eyes.
You need your brakes too!
The pointing finger drops down to the open zipper of her purse. A moment later, she withdraws her hand, grasping a large green apple. She shoves it into Kyoji's hands before turning on her heels and snatching my arm.
Maybe you could help me with something, Mr. Nishimura.
Okay, what the fuck just happened? I have no right to say anything about circadian rhythm. As she leads me towards the swing set, I glance back over my shoulder at Kyoji. He looks utterly dumbfounded at the fruit left in his hand, but nonetheless takes a bite. Shaking my head in amusement, I turn my attention back to the young canine beside me. So, what's up? Chio clears her throat and stops me with a tug on my arm. Glancing back at her big brother, then to Yukiharu, little Tanuki already gained considerable height on his swing, the little girl takes a breath.
Well, this only if you want to, but...
She pauses and I give her a little nod to continue. Gesturing with her hand for me to lean down, she cups her other hand to the side of her mouth.
I have a piano recital coming up and, well, I was going to ask Yukiharu to come. If you're not too busy, would you like to come too?
I blink, wondering why she's whispering. After all, she doesn't really have a reason to be... Oh, I see what's going on. This is adorable! I give Chio a slight smile and a thumbs up. No problem. She smiles in response, and I can see a blush break out on her cheeks. Without saying anything further, the two of us make our way to the swings, where Yukiharu slows himself to a stop. What took you, Chio? Do we need to leave?
No, Big Brother said we have a bit longer.
Turning to me, she motions at the empty swing to the left, while she takes the one in the middle between myself and the young Tanuki.
Sorry about the walk to the water fountain, sir. I couldn't find my dad keeps the big buckets in the shop.
Oh, fuck. Damn it. Sorry about the walk to the water fountain, sir. I couldn't find where my dad keeps the big buckets in the shop. I smile and shake my head, using just enough momentum to move my swing back and forth ever so slightly. Oh, it's no problem at all. I saw Mr. Kyoji leading you to the sandbox. Were you okay? Yukiharu's question makes me pause before I finally nod my head. Yeah, I was just... I don't know, I guess I got dizzy. Again, I feel like my own answer is troublesome, but it's the truth. It really was no big deal. You kind of looked spaced out. Did you see something weird? Now that he's mentioned it, something does cross my mind. Was there someone walking by? When I was bringing the water back, I mean.
I don't think so.
This time it's Chio who perks up and answers, a tone of confusion cutting slightly into her voice.
Maybe you just heard someone's voice and thought they were close by?
I scratched the top of my head in confusion and shrugged my shoulders. Yeah, I guess that must be it. Another thought suddenly comes to mind and I turn to face Yukiharu once again. Hey, so my grandfather once taught me that trick about using water when making a sandcastle. Where'd you learn to do it? Young Tanuki simply shrugs and starts to swing. Someone told me about it once, but I can't remember who. He doesn't continue after he says this, instead opting to keep swinging. Beside him, Chio seems confident, just swaying back and forth slightly. I decided to join them and kick off the ground to enjoy the swing myself.
Yukiharu? Mr. Nishimura?
Yukiharu and I slow to a stop and glance over at the girl. For a moment, I wonder what she's going to say, but one look at the slight rosy tint to her cheeks is enough to make me realize. The Tanuki, on the other hand, is completely oblivious. What's wrong, Chio? Do you need to use the restroom? Takes all of my willpower to not snicker. Poor Yukiharu is oblivious.
No, but, do you like the piano?
Oh, my mom wanted me to learn how to play once, but I'm really bad at it. I hang my head sheepishly, not wanting to steer the conversation away from Chio's end goal, but I feel it would be suspicious if I didn't answer honestly. Same for me. The young girl swallows nervously.
Well, if you aren't busy...
Hmm?
And if you're feeling up to it...
Uh-huh.
I was wondering if you'd like to see me play. The piano, I mean.
My eyes widen at just how quickly the exchange goes, but as I look over at Yukiharu, I just see him smile. That sounds fun. Do you know anyone with a piano at their house? Oh, you sweet summer child. He can't help it, he's still a child. Yeah, he's a dumbass just like his brother. Derogatory. No! No, not derogatory. Please, please, JK. Please, JK. No! He's like 12. He's 12. But granted, I was a dumbass when I was 12. It's like, can't say that anyone's a dumbass when they're young because, like, the bar... I still run with scissors. I still run with scissors. I still play with fire. The bar is in hell and I'm playing limbo. I'm a dumbass. That sounds fun. Do you know anyone with a piano at their house? Chio parts the two straps of her purse and reaches inside once again. She fishes about for a few moments before pulling out two baby blue slips of paper with black writing. Holding one onto Yukiharu, her outstretched hand betrays only the slightest of shakes.
It's my piano recital.
As he rubs the back of his head with one hand, I'm reminded of a similar pose given by the older Tanuki. With the nod, he gently takes the ticket from her hand. Sure, I'll ask my mom when I get home tonight. She pulled it off too perfectly. Ah, young love. Wait a second. This little girl got her first date before me? All of a sudden I feel small inside. I believe this is the part where I play the... scary big brother. I jump as I hear Kyoji's voice from behind me while Yukiharu glances over at him in confusion. Oh? The bigger canine just laughs and gives me a soft push on my rear, sending me higher in the swing. At least I like the first one.
Big brother? Maybe we should go. We're gonna be late for dinner.
Chio jumps from her swing and forces the second ticket into her brother's hands. She mutters something under her breath before scurrying away to the park entrance. Oh, this is... I didn't take you for a fan of classical piano music, Hiroyuki. He winks at me and gives me another push on the rear. This time right next to my tail. I've had the whole butterflies in my stomach feeling before, but compared to today? Well, I guess I am now, huh? I do what I can to slow down, watching while Kyoji walks to the front of the swings. He glances at me with his usual smile. Well, trust me, you'll love what Chio can do. Kyoji turns to Yukiharu, who has slowed down enough to stand, and extends a hand towards him. Ready, Yukiharu? We wouldn't want to upset your mother. A sigh escapes young Tanuki as he shrugs and shakes his head before taking Kyoji's hand. You don't have to tell me twice. The Labrador lets go of Yukiharu's hand, allowing the Tanuki to join Chio by the park entrance. He gives a soft chuckle and reaches out, extending the ticket toward me. Here, Hiroyuki! I believe this was meant for you! As I take the ticket, Kyoji gently takes hold of my wrist and helps me to my feet. The two of us stand there in silence for several moments until finally he releases my hand. Well, I'd better get going, but hopefully I'll see you again. Still smiling his usual smile, the Labrador turns and sprints towards the two children. I wave goodbye and watch them jog out into the rapidly fading sunlight. Glancing down at the ticket, I note that it is dated for the 20th, somewhere in Kazunari. I'll have to remember to ask Kyoji where exactly the music hall is. Hopefully I don't forget.
Come back soon, Hiroyuki.
How embarrassing! I can't believe I had such an erotic dream. About Shun! Crap, I shouldn't be thinking about it. I'm just making the situation worse.
Hiroyuki, are you awake, dear?
I gulp as my grandmother knocks on the door and calls out to me. Yeah, I just had a weird dream. I rub the back of my neck, doing my best to forget about the dream I just woke up from. It doesn't work. I hear my grandmother shuffling on the other side of the door. She's undoubtedly waiting for some reassurance, so I clear my throat. I'm fine, Grandma. I'll be up in a moment, Kay? Can't really tell, but it sounds like... Is she laughing at me? No hurry, dear. I'm just gonna make breakfast.
It'll be ready soon.
I hear her footsteps as she walks away and breathe a sigh of relief. I'd hate to have to explain this predicament. With a soft groan, I stretch, willing myself to forget what I just woke up from. Maybe a shower will help? Giving a slight smile, I get out of bed and bring some clean clothes with me into the bathroom. Hang on, I'm checking something. Okay. I sigh as I let the water run across my body, washing the shampoo through my fur. I guess I have been overdoing it lately. Drink the shampoo. Sorry, Tora. We grabbed your boobies. Yeah, we still have Tora's route. Well, I don't want to reread that scene. Plus, does Shun have an event on the 10th? See, cats, that's the secret third option that we don't talk about. Either way, the event's gonna get skipped. Okay, if I remember to, I'll write about it. Wait, does Shun have an event on the 10th? Pretty sure he does. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Curry. I'm not gonna reread the masturbate scene. No matter how funny it is. I don't want to kill the joke. Well, no, that's Kyoji and Taro. We can't ignore our errands. That's right. His dad really seemed like a jerk the other day, which was so different to the man I knew growing up. Did you get into another fight with your dad? Shun cocks his head to one side before giving a nonchalant shrug.
When are we not fighting?
By the way, sorry about the other day. I'm really not up to the speed with the customs of the shrine. Once again, the wolf shakes his head.
It's fine, honestly, it's a dumb rule anyway. If I have to be in charge someday, the shrine won't be such a stuffy place anymore.
And the shrine god won't take offense to that? I can't help but crack a smile as I say that. The idea of a deity being angered by a random fox cleaning his courtyard is quite an amusing thought. At least I managed to bring a smile back to Shun's face.
I'm sure he appreciated your help the other day. I know I did.
I decided to change the subject, moving closer to the wolf. So, what do you need to speak with Tatsuki's parents about? He breathes a heavy sigh and glances down at the road.
Well, I'm really just going to check up on a few things. You know the Bond Festival is soon, right?
Oh yeah! I almost completely forgot about the local festival. Every year, the town would gather near the shrine, set up food stalls, food stands, games, and a big fireworks show. Well, big for Minasato anyway. And if I'm not mistaken, organization duties have always been split between the Kodori family, the Midoriya family, and the mayor. No, I should have brought my yukata. I completely forgot about the Bond Festival. Your dad's still leading the harvest dance, right?
Ugh.
Shun grunts, letting his eyes roll upward before answering me.
Not anymore.
Blinking in confusion, I tilt my head to one side. Oh, what changed? With a heavy sigh, Shun directs his gaze back to me.
I'm in charge of it now, as well as next year.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? You get to be a big shot in town. The beginnings of a smile appearing on his face, the wolf nods slightly.
Don't get me wrong, I'm proud to lead the harvest dance. If only Dad would get off my case.
He arches his shoulders back and puffs out his cheeks, doing a decent imitation of the Kodori elder. You're doing the movements all wrong! Stick with your chest out broad, stop moving your tail so much! Puffing out the stored air from his stomach, he turns to face me with a pained expression.
He's seriously trying to get Mrs. Midori to put shoulder padding in my robes.
My eyes widen and I can't help but laugh. Wait, what?
I'm serious. He said I looked like a girl in my normal yukata.
Shaking his head, the wolf curls his lips in disgust.
All of a sudden, he wants me to look like an action figure or something. It's so degrading.
I shuffle nervously and rub the back of my head. I didn't realize you needed to look like a heavyweight champion in order to get the Shrine God's approval. I'm sorry to hear that, Shun. It really sucks. Try not to sound insecure myself, but I'm not sure I'm succeeding. I don't exactly have the widest shoulders myself.
Yeah, I know.
Can't you just say no if that's how your dad is going to act? There's gotta be someone else who can handle the Bond Festival's religious ceremonies, right? The way Shun looks at me gives me a moment of pause before realization sinks in. That's right, he told me about this before.
Because of all this family drama, my cousin left town a while ago.
I nod, remembering him telling me about his cousin. So there was drama which caused him to leave. Is that why he's no longer qualified? Wolf sighs and gives a nod. With the mood being so sour, maybe I should change the subject. Well, if it matters, I think you're fine just as you are. His smile returning, Shun fiddles with the zipper on his jacket.
Thanks, hero. Anyway, I'd better go.
He starts to turn away only to hesitate. Facing me again, he takes a breath.
If you're not doing anything, did you maybe want to join me? I promise it's nothing that will get you into trouble.
Surprised, it takes me a few moments to compose myself. To be honest, it would be a nice distraction, but then again, it also has been a very busy day today. We gotta join him. As tired as I am, I just can't say no to him. Not like that's anything new. Sure. I flash him a wink, earning a wider smile for my efforts. The two of us make our way towards Tatsuki's house. During our walk, Shun and I chat about nothing in particular. However, I can't help but wondering, just what the hell is going on with this family? Pocket full of quarters. As we arrive at the Midoriya residence, we are greeted by none other than Tatsuki. I am sad And I'm sad. And I'm sad forever. Because there's no Tetsuya. As we arrive at the Midoriya residence, we are greeted by none other than Tatsuki. However, before we could even say anything, we were suddenly distracted with something completely unrelated. You know, I've been thinking of changing my character class.
This late in the campaign? You realize you have to start from base stats with whatever class you pick, right?
Seriously, what kind of cheapskate rules that, huh? At Tatsuki's outburst, Shun folds his arms across his chest and gives a wide grin.
The kind that keeps campaigns going, I guess. After all, if everyone just kept changing classes in the middle of a game, we'd never get a single one finished.
But I didn't know the Beastmaster was even a class I could choose. Gus needs a little brother. Shun chuckles and shakes his head in amusement.
You do realize that the Beastmaster class has minimal health points, right?
A scowl appears on the dragon's face as Shun explains. He folds his own large arms across his chest and gives a loud snort. Who cares about that? Especially when I can ride in a battle on a unicorn. Although I was following the conversation, my ears perk up even more at the mention of riding a unicorn. Hey! Why didn't you tell me about that class? I want a unicorn. The wolf gives an embarrassed chuckle, his cheeks going a soft pink. He shrugs and rubs the back of his head.
In my defense, I didn't consider putting unicorns in the campaign.
I want a pretty one too, shell of white fur and gold and silver mane. My eyes widen in excitement and I let my tail switch enthusiastically. That sounds so cool! See, this. Tetsuya is the fox dilf. Tatsuki's dad is Tape. Tetsuya is my comfort character. Tetsuya is genuinely my comfort character right now. It is about as bad as it sounds. That sounds so cool. This is the fucking boys will be boys that I like. This is the boys will be boys that is really boys will be boys. Because how cool would it be if you could ride into battle on a fucking unicorn? That would be awesome.
As long as you don't mind losing all of your current stats, I could totally put together a character sheet for you.
Now start drawing her right now. Her name is Moon Dancer, the found while hunted by the River of Embers. As Tatsuki runs off, Shun's expression changes to one of surprise.
Hey, wait a minute, Tatsuki! Yeah.
Shaking my head to give a soft chuckle. Don't worry, Shun, I'll get him. Thankfully, I'm able to catch up to Tatsuki and get him to put his plans on hold. As exciting as the thought of watching him make up a new character is, Shun and I are here for a reason. Hitchhiking. I flash Shun a triumphant grin as Tatsuki and I return outside. So, Shun was here for something important, weren't you?
Yeah, it's just a bit dull.
Tatsuki shakes his head and smiles down at the wolf. Well, what can I do for you, little buddy? I have to fight back a snicker as I see Shun trying not to scowl.
Now pretend I didn't hear that. Anyway, I was coming to double check that the Yagura for the Bond Festival is still in good shape.
The dragon raises his brow as he scratches his cheek. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. I remained silent, not wanting to admit that I had almost forgotten about it too. The Yagura was always a centerpiece of the Bond Festival. I remember how we had to replace a few boards for it last year. Then again, what can you expect with something built to be set up only to be torn down again?
Yeah. I don't understand why Dad just won't contract you guys to build a permanent one next to the shrine.
Tatsuki simply shrugs and leans closer to us, cupping a hand next to his mouth. Well, you know how the old folks are. Everything's their way or the highway. Shun gives me a look that I return with an exaggerated grimace.
So it seems.
As the three of us share an awkward silence, it's suddenly broken as Tatsuki stands back up and clears his throat. Oh, by the way, Mom's been working on that thing for you. Did you want to go check it out while I track down the Yagura? The wolf hesitates for a moment before finally nodding.
Sure, I appreciate it, Tatsuki.
His shoulders seem to deflate as the dragon heads around the far wall and disappears.
Well, I'd better get this over with.
Is it about the shoulder padding? Shun's face contorts with disgust and he shudders.
Ugh, don't say it out loud. Look, Mrs. Midoriya is really nice, so I don't want her to feel bad about this.
Shoving his hands into his pockets, he forces a smile onto his face.
You can go and hang out with Tatsuki if you like. After all, this may take a bit of time.
I cast a glance over in the direction the big dragon went, weighing up my options. To be honest, I'm not sure the Shun is really in the best mood at the moment. On the other hand, Tatsuki would probably appreciate the help. As tempting as the offer to follow Tatsuki is, I can't leave Shun now. Especially not when he's going through so much. Actually, I don't mind. I've got time to spare. It'll be good to see Mrs. Midoriya too, especially after so long. Besides, what kind of person would I be to desert a friend in need? A wide smile makes its way to the wolf's face, his cheeks tinting a soft pink. As his tail wags happily, I can't help but smile back.
Thanks, hero.
The two of us head inside in search of Mrs. Midoriya. It doesn't take long to find her. As we walk inside, she notices us almost immediately. After a quick greeting, she motions for us to follow her. Although Shun's dreading it, I can't deny my curiosity. You know, I always thought navy blue was a boring color, but it really looks good on you. Although she's bent over, the dragon lady still towers over Shun. She carefully inspects the new outfit the wolf is wearing.
This feels great, Owen. Thanks for not putting in the padding.
Mrs. Midoriya stands up sharply and clicks her tongue, her full and intimidating height contrasting the pleasant tone in her voice. Not a problem, my dear. It was such a silly thing for your father to suggest. You're a perfectly handsome young man with more than enough presence to need some silly fake muscles. Shun holds his hands out, slowly turning to face me as he models a ceremonial robe. Oh my god, can I stop hitting the fucking Windows key?
What do you think, hero?
I nod in approval and flash him a grin. Definitely much better without the shoulder pads.
Yeah, I think I would have looked lopsided with those things.
Folding my arms across my chest, I give a cheeky smirk. Because you're short?
Uh-huh. Anyway.
His smile fades quickly at my teasing, but before I can even say anything, he glances up at the dragon, his smile returning.
This is perfect, Mrs. Midoriya. How much do I owe you for this?
With a shake of her head, Mrs. Midoriya bends down once more, gently tapping the end of Shun's nose with her index finger. We may charge your father, but you're a friend of Tatsuki, so I couldn't charge you for this. Besides, this is an important thing for you. Just make sure to take care of it. She holds her hands out in front of her and grins. After all, sewing clothes that small with my big hands isn't the easiest thing to do. With a puff of air, she blows her bangs out of her face so that she can see me without any obstruction. So it's been a while, Hiroyuki. How's Osaka been treating you? I sigh inwardly as I hear her familiar question, craning my neck upwards so I can address her. Oh, you know, kinda boring. Boring? In a city that size, I'd imagine you could get up to almost anything you wanted. I give her a polite smile and shrug my shoulders. I just never seem to find the time. Besides, it's not really that exciting. The dragon smiles back, but I can tell she's just being polite. If anything, she seems to be calling my bluff. Oh, come now. I know you at least have a nice girlfriend waiting for you back home, right? Okay, what is with older people and being like, oh, I know you have someone waiting for you back home? My entire face goes red and I stare away in embarrassment, managing to catch Shun's expression for a split second. His eyes are wide, his mouth agape, the look of a young man getting a peek into something like a secret diary. As the wolf quickly composes himself, I clear my throat and shake my head. Osaka girls? No thank you. They're too high maintenance. Forcing a grin to my face, I stare back up at Mrs. Midoriya. She simply shrugs and places her hands on her hips. Well, it's okay to have a type, I suppose. Heaven knows what I'm gonna do when Tatsuki brings someone home. Considering his father's tastes. Almost as if it were a response, we hear the sound of a drum of some kind ring out from the other side of the hall. Mrs. Midoriya freezes for a second, before recognition spreads to her face when she rolls his eyes. Ugh. Without fail, every single year, when that boy knows of Bond Festival is around the corner, he decides he is a professional drummer. She waves her hands in an exaggerated manner, as if annoyed by what she said. Turning in place, she angles herself so that she's facing the living room, the hem of her dress flicking out from the speed of the movement. I'll let you change back in your clothes, sweetheart. Just let me know if you'd like something to drink before you go. A smile returning to his face, the wolf nods enthusiastically.
Thank you, Mrs. Midoriya. I really appreciate it.
The dragon returns his smile before walking back into the living room. As I glance back at Shun, I can once again see him examining himself, his smile still on his face.
Well, this went better than I expected.
I chuckle in response, the wolf turning his attention my way. Are you sure your father won't get mad?
Oh, he can go suck on an egg. I like this outfit.
Without so much as a warning, Shun strips off the robes, his slender body seeming to puff out in places from the static buildup on his fur. I turn away, curling my tail around myself in an attempt to hide the problem that begins to make itself known. Curse these hormones! Clean thoughts, Hiroyuki, clean thoughts!
Here we go.
I chance a peek at my friend, breathing out a quick sigh of relief when I see him in his regular clothes. Thankfully, the problem I had ended up fixing itself quickly. I'd rather not have to explain that. As I turn around to face him fully, Shun starts wagging his tail, a happy smile on his face.
Thank you, Hero. I appreciate your help today.
The wolf rubs the back of his head and gives a soft chuckle. I pause for a moment, wondering what help I even provided. Finally, I just chuckle back and shake my head. Yeah, no problem. Still smiling, Shun carefully folds his ceremonial robes before placing them in a bag that Mrs. Midori conveniently left for him. After zipping up the bag, he turns his attention to me.
Let's go find Tatsuki.
I grin at him and give a nod of agreement before the two of us begin our search for our giant friend. We're gonna leave off here tonight. You know, I want to be fast. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.